Welcome, guys. Equity Podcast, back at you. Barrick here. We're going to be talking about the 5 factors of health and fitness. This is a borrowed concept from Ben Bergeron, um, which I get a lot of stuff from. I like him a lot. And I've chained, not chained, I've kind of changed some stuff on it a little bit to kind of make it our own. But we'll dive right into it. So the first one, and I think the most important one, is nutrition. Right, this is the first one of the 5. I like to think of. Everybody kind of forgets about it. Not forgets about it. It's an afterthought. It's like, hey, I need to start working. I need to start working out before I start working on my nutrition, which should be the opposite. I should be working on that nutrition. Real whole food, not too much. Limit processed foods, limit sugars. That's our base. That's what we want to do. If we do that, we're going to be pretty good. Now, is there nuance in some of that? Absolutely, but when you stick to that basic, you're gonna do really well, and it doesn't have to be complicated, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Real whole food, mostly plants, not too much. Limit processed foods and sugars. And you can do it. Don't drink your calories. It would be another one to do as well. If you don't drink your calories, you'll be amazed what you can do. So don't drink your calories either. So nutrition is huge. You definitely got to focus on that. The next one is how we meet most people, and that's movement or exercise. So this is the one that I kind of tweaked a little bit. He calls it exercise. I just call it movement. And that's, being able to move through full range of motion, being able to go up the steps without breathing heavy, being able to do all the things you want to do in your life. If that's staying mobile and independent, or if that's climbing mountains, or if that's going on hikes, or if that's playing flag football, whatever it is, if it's competing in CrossFit, to whatever level you want to, you need to be able to move. And focusing on the mechanics, focusing on consistency, then bringing in some intensity. That's how we get better. That's how we learn to move. We want to make sure that we're constantly moving throughout our life, so we can, like I said, do the things that we want to do. I think most people in the gym get that, but moving is essential to life. So adding some gymnastics, moving your body in space, adding weightlifting, just moving external objects, adding monostructural movements. It's going to be such a help if you can add those into your regimen in your long-term health and fitness. So definitely something that you should be doing, need to be doing. The next one, this is the one I probably tweaked the most, is recovery. And what he has is sleep, which is that's the majority of it. Is people do not sleep enough. Your body, after you work out, you are less fit than you were before you worked out. You have broken down tissue, and your body is not as good as it was. But that's okay, because after we recover, after we sleep, after we recover, our muscles are built back stronger, and now we are fitter. So we need to be able to recover, and if we don't give ourselves that room to recover, we're just going to keep getting worse. You're actually going to get less fit as you go. You're just going to break your body down. Your body's going to be like, nope. And that's how injuries happen. That's how you just start feeling run down. You need to recover. Recovery is a big scope of things, just like all, nutrition and movement are big scopes of things. But the primary thing is sleep, getting enough sleep. Setting yourself up for success for that sleep is going to be really important. Making sure that, you know, limiting screen time, keeping it cool, limiting caffeine based on a certain time. Like, don't have it after 2. Having a nightly routine where you do the same thing. Limiting this one's really, like, you hear all the time about blue light. It's super important. Try to limit the blue light, but also overhead lights. Try to limit that. One of the nice things about the house that we just moved into is that in all the bedrooms there aren't any overhead lights or ceiling fans, so that means we're completely reliant on lamps. So when we buy our LED lamps, I make sure not to get the bright blue ones. I get like the more reddish tint ones, orange. Like, and the idea is that that red, that orange tint is more like dusk. So when it's not light out, we're turning the lamps on, and it's not just blasting us with this blue LED light, making us think it's daytime. It's orange, and then since the lamps are low, it's kind of, that light source is at the horizon, and it lets our body be like, hey, we're starting to get time for sleepy time. So it's kind of one of the things that I really like about having a lot of lamps is you can adjust the mood, you can adjust the lighting to help you get to sleep. So sleep, recovery, obviously, you know, there's so many other things we can get into, stretching and you know, massage and all that stuff, but the big one is sleep. The next one, we've definitely put more of a focus on it, is mindset. We talk about that a lot. We have the daily mindset for every day that we post, and, you know, full disclosure, I do not rate that every day. I am not that insightful. I wish I had that level of insight to do that every day. That is part of our weekly our programming that we get the workouts from. They also provide the daily mindset, and I read those. Usually, I read them all at one sitting when I'm doing the programming. So I read them all, and they're awesome. Usually, I'll post one, you know, before the week starts, just because I found so much. I got something out of it, and then I read them during the week as well. And it's easy to say I have a good mindset. I've been working on my, you know, you might have been working on your mindset for a long period of time, but there is no end goal with the mindset. You're always trying to get better. You're always trying to learn something new. There's always something else you can take out of it. So there isn't a final destination with that. Just keep working on trying to be better. And when you think you have a growth mindset, for example, in one place, you're like, oh, okay, I have a growth mindset. All of a sudden you see this other part of your life where you're like, oh, I do not have a growth mindset in that at all. I need to work on that. So it's not just mindset in the gym. It's mindset in nutrition and recovery and in the gym, movement. It's at work. It's with your kids. It's with your spouse. It's with your friends. It's with everybody. It's with everything you do. We want to work on improving our mindset. And I hope this leads into the next one, that we're providing an environment that does that. Being around other people that are working on their mindset and getting better, working on their movement, working on their nutrition, working on their recovery. Being around people like that is going to bring everybody up. So the last one, the fifth factor, is relationships. It's so easy just to come into the gym, You had a long day at work. Hit the workout, and then just bounce. Everybody says small talk is this negative thing. Small talk has this negative connotation, but I don't think that's true. Small talk, I mean, it can be not fulfilling, yes. If you're just constantly, if you see somebody at the gym every day and it's just, oh, that weather, or, oh, that workout today. But when you start asking, what I hope you can start doing is that small talk turns into a relationship, right? When you start seeing that somebody every day, every other day, 3 to 5 times a week, that small talk turns into other things, right? You start asking second questions, right? When we're trying to build a relationship with somebody, it's not good enough just to say how you doing, or how was your day, or whatever. Everybody's just gonna be fine. Most people. You want to go to that second question. Hey, how did your baseball game go last weekend? Hey, how's your dog doing? They were having that issue the other day. Ask the second question, and that's where relationships are built, and that's having those relationships with people. It's part of we're social beings. We need that interaction with other people, and by having those relationships, it's going to help improve our health and fitness, and that's why it's one of the factors. I actually had something else I wanted to talk about today, and then I was thinking, what, I haven't talked about working out in a while. I've been doing all mindset stuff, so talking about actual the 5 factors of health and fitness. I really like these, and I hope you think about them a little bit. Ben has a really good he has the Chasing Excellence podcast. I would definitely check that out. He has an episode on these 5 factors. So, and I've listened to it before, but it was probably years ago. I haven't listened to it, so I should go back and listen to it now and figure out, see what we kind of riff on, see if there's some similarities. I'm sure there are. But here, think about what we said different. So, recap: nutrition, movement, recovery, mindset, relationships. Those are the 5. I also, one of the reasons that I changed it is I wanted to have the letters be a little bit different. So there's 2 M's, 2 R's, and then an N. So MMRRN. Movement, mindset, recovery, relationships, nutrition. I don't know, I just made it cleaner, made it easier for me to remember. Alright, that's all I have for you today. I actually talked a little bit longer today. Hope you get something out of this. Think about where you're struggling. Think about what's your low-hanging fruit. Where can you get the most bang for your buck? And I hope this helps. I hope you start thinking about the 5 factors and how you can improve your health and fitness using these 5 factors. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Cheers.